Right, we're back again. This is a new show called Real Talk. Today we've got Asim. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you? All good.
Alhamdulillah, all good, man. Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
good to have you on. Good to have you on. We're going to talk about free
Good to be
things.
here.
We're going to talk
Yeah, I'm
about.
good to be here.
Oh yeah, no, good to have you on. Good to have you on, man. But now we're going to talk about India's lockdown, United's 11, if you like, for next season. Our preferred 11. But now we're going to start with how we think Ramadan is going to be different this year because the way he's looking, no mosque, no community as such. The way we've been brought up is going to be a bit of a weird one this year. But yeah, starting on this, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you hear of an outbreak of plague in a land, do not enter it. If the plague breaks out in a place while you're in it, do not leave that place. And he said that, obviously 1,400 years ago, roughly. So obviously those words are never more timely than now. And he said, truly trust in Allah, tie your camel, but trust in Allah. So we've got to take action, but also we know who's in charge of everything that's going on.
Definitely, you got to take precautions in it. You have to make sure you take your safety precaution and then have your trust in Allah after that.
That's it, man. You need both. But you were going to go to Hajj. You were going to go to Hajj, innit? Obviously, that's looking like it's probably going to be off now. So yeah, talk on that, man.
Yeah. Definitely. No, I was supposed to go Hajj this year with my whole fam. So I don't know how that's going to be now. Hopefully, it depends how it goes, innit? It depends on how it goes with like the rest of the country. So I don't know how Italy is doing so far and how other countries have done. But I think for us, it's going to be a similar trajectory. But we'll see. Can't judge anything. Because the group that I'm going with, they've said that wait until they find out from the Saudi government in the last 10 days of Ramadan whether they're going to have whether Hajj is going to go ahead or all the Hajj details. And they start booking everything then. So they'll find out then and then they'll tell us after that. So all depends on that, really.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. You have got to play by ear in a way because, like, the news came out today that experts are saying that we could be out, like UK could be out of lockdown by May if everyone behaves in that sense. But other countries, we don't know, innit? In Saudi, they're letting cleaners and whatnot do tawaf and that, but can they let masses and massive people back when maybe, social distancing is still required?
That's true, but then it also depends how bad it is in Saudi. Because if it's not too bad in Saudi, but then you got people coming in from countries which are affected as well. So I don't know.
That's the
tough
thing.
One to judge. You have to leave it to them, see what they say.
That's it. When you go there, you put the ihram on, and everyone's the same. I haven't got a clue where man's from, and if you're gonna open it, you have to open it to everyone, and that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if they have to open to everyone. They might just do it that. So they'll have like specific tests in place. So for example, if they have a test or something which tests for you if you got coronavirus or not, or if you've had it before or not, then they could probably just check people on the border once they come, or they send that test over, and people have to get tested and like get a certificate to say, "Oh, okay, I'm clear to go, so I can go."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could be like that because obviously they have vaccinations and stuff. So I think you gotta get like, hepatitis and meningitis and stuff like that. So you have to prove that you've had them vaccinations before you go. So it might be a case similar to that, to be fair.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I have to wait and see how that plays out. But obviously, if it doesn't go ahead, me and you both going to be in the northwest and looking like there's no obviously community and mosques and that are going to be open, and at least until probably end of May, it's looking like minimum. So it's going to be.
That's like the end of Ramadan, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, we've got Tarawih and obviously the congregations after the fifth prayer, Isha. So yeah, it's going to be strange, but yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
That's going to be very strange. Obviously, you're with kids, innit? You don't really pray as much when you're kids because you always you get up to mischief.
Yeah, that's true.
But now, as you get older, you appreciate it more. So like, obviously, I've started praying in more recent years, and it's just like now I'm definitely going to miss it because like it's a big part of Ramadan, really. You know, even when you're a kid, let's say you didn't pray right when you're a kid, you'd still go to the mosque, you pray Isha, and then
Yeah.
you made tarawih, but you'll be chilling with your boys, or you'll be inside the mosque
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's all part of your routine. So that
Exactly.
whole thing's gonna be gone now. You won't be going to mosque to even open your fast.
Yeah.
You're gonna do now, which is weird for me because me and my dad go every day. So it's gonna be weird. It
It
might
is, man.
that
It's,
Ramadan feeling might not be there. That's the thing, and I don't want
yeah,
that.
it's true. It's true. You know, in the Prophet's time, there wasn't any tarawih as such, or even for the
No,
Sahaba. They did.
no,
It's called Qiyamul Layl, wasn't it? Qiyamul Layl
yeah,
in
yeah,
usually the last third of the night, so as close as possible to Fajr kind of thing.
yeah,
You're looking at like what 3 a.m. these days, 3 a.m. But
yeah,
yeah, I think it's looking like the way we're going to be doing it is similar to how they were going to be doing it. Like maybe
yeah.
with the way the supermarkets are and whatnot, you know, slowly getting back to normal. But people are not, you know, people are realizing what's important and what's essential. And you know, I think if
Mm-hmm.
anything, we should be learning from this about not be like feasting massively when it comes to iftar and you know going crazy with the samosas and everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
You got to
point.
eat
Very
in
good point.
moderation, man. Obviously, eat, but don't overeat in it. You know, like the prophet said,
Yeah.
a third for food, a third for water.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, what's your opinions on not gaining weight in Ramzan?
I'm all down for it. I'm down for not gaining weight in Ramadan. To be fair, I've been alright. I don't. For me, it's been okay. Like I can control it, but obviously, every now and then, you just like you'll have one extra samosa by accident in it.
Yeah,
But
that's
what can
true.
you do, man? If mum makes it, you gotta have it. You can't just leave it
One's
there.
alright. You can have one. You can have one. But I think it's just a
But
case
yeah,
of
no,
always being conscious about the state we're in now, and you know, not overdoing it for no reason.
yeah, definitely, you're right. And also going back to the thing you talk about, Qiyam al-Layl, was that like so? I'm presuming, as I've only heard of it now, and like people have said it that they did in the Prophet's time. So I'm presuming that's like a sunnah that's maybe been forgotten. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it's like a blessing in disguise in a sense where
Yeah.
you're kind of like reviving we've been allowed to revive a sunnah that the Prophet did.
Yeah, exactly. In a way, I
It's
think it
I
probably
feel,
is. Yeah. I'm not an expert on it, but
yeah, I'm even.
from what I've
If
heard of it,
anyone's there who knows better, correct us, please.
yeah, exactly. That's it, innit? That's what this is all about. But ultimately, yeah, it's I think the timing of it. If you're praying at 3 in the morning when the rest of the world is dead, like the connection you can get, which is ultimately what it's all about. The connection you can
Yeah,
get
100%.
it is mad, innit? So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
100%.
Um,
100%.
but yeah, that's what they say. In every disaster, the true believers they find the positives in it and understand
Yeah,
the bigger picture. And
100%.
now is as good a time as any for that. And I think like, I live on my own, innit? Obviously, most people live with their families or whatever, but living on
Yeah,
my own, I think not being able to go to the mosque like I was last year straight after work is going to give me more time to like reflect and deeply think about, you know, the kind of meaning of everything and what's going on now and kind of applying the principles of like a kind of minimalist lifestyle on a daily
yeah,
basis. Because there's a lot of shit that we just don't need and we just hoard or keep or don't really use, and we don't really we take for granted the basics because we have them every day. But as soon as they're taken away from us, like now we don't have the freedoms to travel and whatnot. Yeah, man, it opens your eyes, isn't it?
yeah, definitely 100%. Because like usually I try to like obviously we're supposed to fast in Ramadan, so that's like you stop yourself eating, and
Yeah,
eating and drinking is an obvious thing, but it's more than that, and it's the most spiritual thing. You
yeah,
gotta like stop all your bad habits and stuff. So like last year I deleted Instagram for a full month, and that had a big effect because like there's some things that I couldn't do before, like
mm,
I couldn't focus, but like deleting Instagram maybe had a major effect on like my whole
yeah,
Ramadan. So it made my Ramadan a lot more productive. So I'm probably gonna do that again. I'll probably just cut off full social media fully
mm,
and make it easy. I won't be going because I won't spend that time going on Instagram or social media in Ramadan, and I'll be at home anyway. I'll be stuck at home. I say
yeah,
stuck, but it's a blessing. I can spend more time on obviously working towards getting better spirituality, getting closer to Allah.
Yeah,
and just stuff really,
that's it, man.
which is a big blessing, big blessing.
That's it, man. I think in this Ramzan, we're going to go to places within ourselves that maybe we've never been to before, innit? And because we're kind of confined into our spaces. And yeah, man, that's the thing. We've got to find the blessings in a different circumstance. But yeah, moving on, we've got India, a country of my mum and your parents, I think. Is that right?
Yeah,
Both
I was born there. My home country. Well, my birth country. Sorry, not my home country.
Yeah,
So this is my
that's
home.
it. Yeah, of course. You can tell by your accent.
Do
Jeez. But nah, Modi, he gave a population of 1.3 billion 4 hours notice that they're going to go on lockdown.
that's
So
just mad.
it was a bit of a madness, to say the least. Yeah.
For us, how they gradually built it into us. It took like a week or something.
Yeah.
But to implement it a week or two. But 4 hours is mad.
It's mad. They've got 20 times the population that we've got, and they had 4 hours. And the problem is there, you've got 4 million homeless, but you've also got economic migrants that have got to travel like miles and miles from where they actually live, to go and get work somewhere. Them man had to go back to their home, and they're having to walk, because what happened was all the public transport was shut down. And there was one story, the Reuters reported that there was one guy who was walking home, and he died on his way walking home. He was about something stupid like 200 kilometers, and it's mad. But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on India at the moment?
India, I don't know, man. As in, it's a bit mad because one of my friends, he's stuck there right now, and he said he can't step out of his house, or they get fined and whatnot. And it's like, obviously for us, the fines there are not as bad because obviously the exchange rate. But like for people who are like of less of an income, it's a lot harder for them. So imagine you're going out just to get your daily groceries or whatever, and you get slapped with a massive fine, and you can't afford that, so you can't afford your food, you can't feed your family. It all adds up, man.
That's it. It's true. A lot of people there, like when I went, like I was saying on the previous one, I was in India 5-6 weeks ago, and like it's just mad because I always think, what if I was there now and I had to, they couldn't repatriate us. Yeah, alhamdulillah, man. But it would be a madness because we're not used to it, innit? But even then, as such. But the problem is over there, there's too many people that live day to day through no fault of their own. They live day to day to get that daily bread, and it's just bare sad, man. It's bare sad.
Yes.
You've got, I think the World Bank, they pledged $1 billion to India yesterday. But like the population there is just a madness. Like social distancing there, bro, it's a myth.
That's not.
It's an absolute myth. Like,
bro, it's mad. That's the thing you got to understand. We need to see if the population listen as well. If the public there listen and actually do social distancing. But to be fair, you've got like coppers going out and like beating people up. I've seen videos of stuff now. I don't know how legit it is. I've seen loads of videos of coppers going out twatting people for like being out on the streets. Which I guess is a deterrent.
I was going to ask you about that because I've seen a few videos as well, and you think, nah. But like when you hear about the Modi regime and the thing they've got against the Muslims as well, like it wouldn't surprise you really if they were going down that kind of way, because now they're trying to be down because it's so strict. They know that if the health system was to be just overcrowded, they wouldn't be able to cope, and people would die by the thousands quickly. So
yeah, especially in a country with a big population like that.
Yeah, that's the biggest. That's the country with the biggest problem right now in the whole world because of the population. Because China's virtually dealt with that issue now. Today's the 4th of April, by the way, guys. But yeah, China's virtually dealt with that issue. You've got Italy, but it's nowhere near the scale of India in terms of population. So that's the thing. But we've been to our villages, innit, and seen like pure poverty and like there's homeless people in this country, and it's not acceptable. But when you go to India and you see, you haven't seen pure poverty until you've seen man sleeping in the same conditions as like cattle and that, like literally, like side by side with cows, and it's an absolute madness. But yeah, man. What was from like when you were in the village?
Say that again.
what do you remember from like your time when you were there, like in the village and that? And
Well, for me, it's like 9 years ago.
yeah,
I was there in Ramadan as well. The last time I was
oof.
there, I was there in Ramadan, so I was busting there. I remember being really hot, and obviously I stayed with my grandparents, so it's really, really hot. I can't remember. I was a kid, so you don't really pick up on stuff like that when you're younger. So I was what 15, 16 at the time. I wasn't really paying attention to all that.
Mm.
But like you do see the big difference in that. So you'll have people who live in proper houses, normal houses or mansions, and then you walk like 10 seconds down the road, you just see poverty like mad.
Yeah,
Just like people live, and that's just like the saddest thing that exists in the world. To be fair.
yeah, it's true, man. And if their health system gets overcrowded, they are screwed because, like, I was looking on BBC before, and doctors over there they treat 4 times as many patients as one in the UK. And if it comes to ventilators, they've got less than 11 ventilators per million people. 11 per million. So like these numbers are scary, man. People don't know these numbers, innit? And like imagine 11 per million. Like you don't even bear thinking about.
So wait, so if it's 11 per million there, what's it like here then?
Here, I can't remember exactly. I watched it before, but I can't remember the exact number. But here, obviously, because of the economy and whatnot, here they can afford more in it. So that's why they're getting people to make them. Like I think Dyson's getting involved now, making loads, and different companies they're getting them to like just manufacture loads because they know they're well short. Because we're going to peak soon. That's the thing. And if
Well, how many deaths today was it? 700 and something today.
yeah, 700 something today. Yeah, the highest so far. So I think 704 something. I can't remember. But it's increasing daily here. But yeah, they know they're well short. But yeah, this is the thing as well. Like with isolating ourselves, like the houses in this country, yeah, they might not be. Not everyone's got massive houses, but you've got rooms in it. But in India, self-isolating in India is a myth as well. Like the houses ain't big enough, and you've got average family of I don't know 4 say, and 4 or 5, and you're looking at maybe 1, 2 rooms. So that's another issue because you've got in our culture people live with their parents and even grandparents in it, so you can have 3 generations of one family, calm, like standard. So it's different, but yeah, man, it's very sad. Any final thoughts on all that?
The final thoughts? Yeah, you just gotta pray for them, really. To be honest, can't do much else.
That's it. It's true.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the plan is for India and how they're gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
And how they go. But it's gonna be rough. I can just imagine it. Like we've not hit our peak yet, and it feels rough already. Like it felt rough like a week ago when we hearing about like 100, 200 deaths a day.
Yeah.
And now we're like within the space of a week. It's bad.
Yeah. That's it, man. But no, let's end on a lighter note. Let's talk about what me and you both like. That's it. The last game we had at Old Trafford was you remember? The derby.
The derby, yeah.
Scott McTominay.
Yeah,
that was the one. But yeah, we're not going to go into we're not going to go into how things going to end and all that. But if we assume we get a transfer window between now and next season, who do you reckon you'd like to see in the starting 11? So let's look at who we've got right now and who you would keep in their position, and then we'll fill in the gaps. So keeper, right. You sticking with De Gea?
To be fair, I'm not fussed if we sell De Gea.
Yeah.
I think get the money from him and buy someone else, or have someone else come in, like Romero wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not really fussed about De Gea, to be honest. If we sell De Gea and make money off it, I'll take that and then invest somewhere else.
Yeah, 100%. I'd take that. I won't mind Henderson coming in, but I won't mind keeping either. Like I think either way we're good in that position when we're not having to worry too much. Obviously, right back, we got the Spider. We're calm with him in it.
Yeah, man, he's staying there. He's not leaving.
Madness. Yeah, Maguire, obviously captain now. He's come on leaps and bounds the last few months, so he's staying there. All right, centre back. So, what? Obviously, we've got Lindelof, Twanzebe. Jones probably going to leave. Smalling's probably going to leave. Would you buy someone?
See, I don't know. See, for me, right, I love Bailly. I don't know what I love Bailly. I love the way Bailly plays because he's just aggressive, but he just gets injured and he's just reckless. That's the only thing.
Yeah, he's not dependable, is he? He's not
If
dependable.
Bailly was exactly, if he was perfect, I'd take him any day. Lindelof's right, but as in, there's been rumours going about, like always, there's always rumours about United of like us going for De Ligt.
Yeah.
Like a swap deal with Pogba. So I don't know. But the thing is, I don't know about De Ligt either. So
yeah,
it's a tricky one. I'd love to have a better centre back than Lindelof.
Yeah, I think they're looking at Koulibaly, but I think they want stupid Koulibaly. I'd take him, but
I'd take him.
It's just about the money, innit? I think they don't want to pay over the odds anymore. Now that they got Bruno for 46, they're not going to pay over the odds because they'll say, well, we got this guy for this much, so we know what the market is. So, don't try and rip us off. But yeah, if they're a bit more shrewd and they can get him, even if they can get him for 75, I'll take him for 75, like a Van Dijk kind of thing. I wouldn't mind. Left back, what are you saying? Brandon, Luke.
See, I don't know. I think we need to upgrade in the left back part.
Yeah.
I like Luke, but I'm not convinced because of just over the years and inconsistency and stuff like that. He'll perform for a bit and he'll be good, and then he'll drop. So I don't know. For me, I think he needs an upgrade.
Yeah, there's not. It's hard to get an upgrade though in that position. Like you've got that Davies at Bayern Munich, but I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But he's rapid. I like him. Yeah, obviously you've got Brandon as well coming through. So
yeah, I like Brandon whenever he plays. Good, yeah. But he's just experience, isn't it? You need experience.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he got done by Mahrez a few times, and yeah, I think there's not really been a lot of talk about left backs that we've been linked with. I think we've got two. That's why they're kind of between them. It'll be enough, maybe just about.
I think they do the job for me. I think in the future, if we want to challenge for the title, we definitely need to.
Yeah, Premier League and Champions League, maybe you need an upgrade. Yeah, let's go to midfield. So let's call it a 4-3-3. Yeah. So we've got your three in the middle right now. If everyone stays, you've got Fred, Pogba, and Fernandes, basically. Yeah.
Fred, Pogba, yes, okay.
And you've got Matic, McTominay. You've got Matic, McTominay, and Pereira on the bench. So, would you? I suppose a lot of it does depend on Pogba, doesn't it? Whether he stays or goes.
Fully depends. If Pogba leaves, we would need to strengthen 100%.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone on the bench can replace what Pogba provides.
Yeah.
For the team base. As in, he may not provide it all the time, but he's got it in his arsenal, innit?
That's it. Yeah.
So
I've heard Pjanic. I've heard Milinkovic-Savic.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know who we can get.
That's the thing. I think whoever you get is going to be a downgrade because, yeah, maybe he's not the most consistent, but he starts at the best in our team. He's our best player. He's our best outfield player.
Yeah.
If he goes, we have to get like 150 for him in that region of. Otherwise, I just say no and keep him.
Yeah. But it's like, does he want to stay as well? That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing.
You can't get performances out of a player who doesn't want to stay at the club.
That's it. It's true, man. No matter what line of work you're in, whether it's football or anything, if your head's not in the game, you ain't going to perform to your max. But yeah, let's go to the attack. So you've got Martial, you've got Rashford, you've got obviously looking at Sancho. That'd be a mad.
Sancho, yeah.
A mad trio.
We got Igalo, mate. Only an Igalo.
Hey, bro, he's gonna be a cult hero, man. If he's not already, legit. Remember when we had Henrik Larsson for 3 months?
What year was that? It might have been before football, to be fair.
I think it was 07 when Rooney and them like were knocking about. Rooney and Ronaldo and yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're saying about Igalo. He's going to be a cult hero if not already. But yeah, man. Who would you look to get to bolster the front line?
Front line. I think we definitely need a world-class striker, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who. Dybala's alright, but he's not really a striker. He's centre forward, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I won't get him. I don't think he's got the pace.
It's a tricky one.
I think Haaland would have been ideal, but obviously he's just gone Dortmund now, so I don't think we're going to get him for a couple of years. But I think they're looking maybe to keep Martial up top and obviously Rashford on the left, and then improve that right side with Sancho. You've heard Grealish mentioned, but I don't know. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
he'll get.
Grealish,
I can't see us
yeah,
getting.
I'd take Grealish.
Hmm?
Even what's it called? Yota's good as well.
Yeah, the
No,
younger.
not Jota. Sorry, Jimenez.
Oh, Jimenez.
Jimenez is sick.
He's a proper striker.
Yeah, I buzz up.
Yeah.
He's good. I'd take him.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
What about you? Who do you think?
I reckon if we can get like a Koulibaly, maybe like a Saul Niguez in midfield, and a Sancho up top, 3 signings. I think we can give it a good shot next year, man, and challenge, at least challenge. Because Ollie's beaten the big teams enough times to show that it weren't a fluke. And then smaller teams now, if we can beat them, we've got a good chance, man.
That's the, I don't know what it is against us and smaller teams. We can't beat them. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just strange that we're up against City, we turn up against Tottenham, we turn up against Chelsea. And when it comes to like, I don't know, but Wolves are our kryptonite right now. They beat us all the time.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, Wolves, sorry. Yeah, Wolves. Yeah, Wolves.
Yeah, Wolves.
Like, what? Yeah, Wolves beat us, in the FA Cup? Wolves beat us twice last season.
Yeah, madness. We need that quality and that obviously you've seen Fernandes coming already, and it's that creativity that allows us to break down them kind of teams. Yeah, extra kind of spark, that flair to break the smaller team down, because they're going to come with a low block and say, okay, break us down, and then we'll just counter and see what happens. And they'll take a draw, but sometimes they can nick a win. But if we can score the first goal and kill them off with a second and a third, like another team has been doing, that's when we've got a good chance of challenging. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good chatting to you, man. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, you too, bro. Definitely. Let me know.
But yeah, any final words of wisdom?
Final words of wisdom. Stay at home.
That's it.
Tech lives.
That's it, man. Stay at home. We'll catch you next time. See you in a bit.
Take it easy.
See you in a bit.